Yo guys, we are looking at the rank 1 player playing Tristana mid lane. He's the only player that plays this champion in 4k app in such a high elo. Now, one thing that's interesting about him, he's really aggressive and he walked in a straight line, trying his best to harass her with her Q. Now, this looks like it's int, but in higher ranks it's actually a mind game to walk in a straight line because often it's assumed that your opponent will predict to the left and right. So if you walk in a straight line, it's int in your rank. If he does it, it's a mind game, so remember that way. Remember that on occasion you could also say it, well, it was a mind game actually, guys. And as much as you guys notice, he's still doing the same mind game, and I know I know it's funny in a certain way, but in higher ranks it's a mind game. If you guys do it, it's int. His skills is E level 2, so he can shove as efficiently as possible. There's no point to skill your W if, you know, Lissandra is balls deep in lane. You will not get any optimal W value. So again, he just does his best to change in between harassing and CSing. He thought he might get some nice E value into Lissandra, but she also spaces super well. And if you guys notice, he's fishing for a level 3 opportunity, right? So as much as possible, he's aiming to hit that level 3 and look for any W opportunities. Of course, if Lissandra perfectly spaces, or there's a Viego gank threat, that's something else to watch out for, and that's where he does not prefer to jump in, of course. But otherwise, feel free to go in. Now, here's another mind game you can do. So instead of roaming for bot lane, where, you know, visually we can see he cannot get a proper gank off in time, properly, what he does is that he actually goes for a very sneaky all-in. So this is what Lissandra sees. It looks like she has vision, but she actually doesn't because of the wall itself. So she uses Fog of War perfectly and gets a fat engage into Lissandra, heavily chunking her and also clearing the wave a little bit with her E as a bonus. That's just a bonus, guys. So often, if you don't get any roam angles, fake the roam, all in your opponent, especially if they use their wave clearing ability, because then you have a better chance to trade. Now in here he is punishing the fact that they are pulling a hardening wave, but he's taking it out a bit slower paced, of course. He does actually utilize his bomb, flashes out, insane bait, and Viego also gets picked up, setting up this Nidalee to snowball really hard from this point on. He has to walk away because he accidentally did aggro the blue, a little bit of a misplay. His next step is also really interesting because what he does is that arguably one of the best moves you can go for. So for now he does shove and spot that Camille on vision is actually roaming mid side. And he actually bought a control ward which he will place and deny the vision from the enemy mid laner. Now important to place it here so Lissandra does not reach it with her attack range, so it doesn't allow her to clear it safely. And he spots the Camille, but because he knows his limits and he knows the fact that her W resetted, so even though if they would collapse in time, she would still have a get out. But in here she just commits, picks up the kill with her second W and even pressures the Lissandra because she's not strong enough to beat Tristana. Now what's important to point out, he plays it out safe because Viego could be around until of course our Skarner commits, because he still knows that this 22.86 second ability is still on cooldown, which means they force out her flash. This is how calculated the best Tristana player in the world is. He does arrive back in lane and he does the same logic, so he actually pushes and fakes a roam. Now the reason why he fakes a roam is because the wave is in a really bad state and, you know, Mel is also undiveable due to her W mechanic and Camille also hovering around, of course. So he does his best to actually set up a trap either on Camille, or B scenario, if nothing else happens, she will actually aim to push and get priority for Drake, which is also totally fine. So he spots an angle into Camille, but he cannot walk up in time. He does pressure a little bit Lissandra without giving up W, of course, and it seems like Camille just does get picked up without any neediness for assistance. So he also sees the angles where he doesn't have to help at all. Now I assume he wants to go for the plate, but it's risky. So we don't risk it for the biscuit, because that biscuit ain't worth the risky. That's like a new quote. That biscuit ain't worth the risky. It's quite a bold commitment, but let's see what do we get out of it. Oh, even presses R just to put pressure on Tristana. Lissandra, but Tristana. Seems like he just actually just shoves her R into her face and For now, it just wants to force her to recall, and once you force her to recall, you can take 1 or 2 plates. Does seem like Lysandra might stay, we'll see. Nope, she does be. And for now, she has no TP either, so she arcs mainly to put pressure on her. And now she actually gets to snatch, I would say 1 or 2 plates. Very unfortunate cannon loss. Just 1 plate, that's good enough. And he puts his recall. Buying a nice BF sword, a nice skull, and you know what's interesting is that, okay, we get all of these items, we have a lot of AD on Tristana now, but it seems like it might be a time where she actually gets punished by Diego. Extremely well played on their part. Now back in lane, he ignores the wave completely just to commit for this grab play where he may be able to intercept, but seemingly doesn't really, which you know is also totally fine. Now what I really have to point out that she does get the wave, but guess her next step, She is obsessed with fake roams, so often if she doesn't get a good opportunity, she just sets up vision, walks down, observes they back off, and she sets up a trap on Lysandra. Now it's funny how this works the 3rd time, 4th time already, but it just does work, guys. It just works. So same logic. If he does it, it's a mind game. If we do it, it might just be int. They just get to wave clear for free. That's a joke. That's a joke. Of course. Ooh, an opportunity bot side. He does spot it, but it seems like upset. That's upset, by the way. He dies. But still, there is a Camille that he could pick up with her R, and he does prefer to steal Flash R. Okay, just like that, bro. Just like that, bro. That's perfect. Wouldn't it be crazy if she just Flash R and W? I think she gave up her W to jump in, no? Never mind then. Having a medallion is really good with Tristana, by the way, because Ri can give up to 70% attack speed, so you can your machine gun Tristana. Machine gun. And besides, she got a lot of CC setup as well for engages, so happy and dapper. I wonder what kind of boots choice will he go for. I think it might be texting, but who knows? Might be like the ultimate roaming mind game again. He likes to not expand his E on the wave, he just keeps it for trades basically, if it makes sense. Ooh, those pokes are nasty. Ooh, nice reaction time. But does she leave? Does she? No, she has no flash, no R. So there is not really a lot to outplay there. But that's totally fine. He can expand his. He can totally expand his basically like TP, and just get the oh, bot angle. Okay, he spots it. He does. Wait, did it not hit Mel for fun? He does also track that Mel's W is on cooldown, so I think she will full send it. See? Yeah, she just sends it. That's a bit unfortunate. This is the level of tracking this guy has, right? It's just like extremely good runs. It's like extremely good at what he's doing. Alright, that's fine. Now, even though like you did TP bot lane, you still get to pressure the tower a little bit, but well, not really because it's under TPs. So that that idea is thrown in the trash, of course. But these Lysandra 2s are hurting like a motherfucker. 310 plus combat. Holy. So he's not having the easiest. Oh, okay, but sets up a... That you missed. Wait, his Gnar also appeared. So the TP animations are not just there. The people are not really just appearing from nowhere. The TP animations are bugged in the replay. Now, interestingly enough, he does actually rotate top lane here. He does go for first item Yuntal into Chain Lace Crushers because they are full of CC. They have a lot of AP damage as well, of course, so it's really good against both. And for now, he's just aiming to collapse on the closest target, which is the... Oh, nice R, avoiding the Gnar's, Mega Gnar's R. But apparently it wasn't even up. That's good and all, but his R wasn't up actually. Damn. Got a bit mistracked, Then the R, I assume, would be a bit early, That's totally fine, he still does pick up the kill. And it tends to like, you gotta steal as much kills as possible as Tristana, because you're not an insane scaler compared to like some other champs like Aphelios and Yunara and this and that, right, Jin and whatnot. So as Tristana, you have to get some degree of a lead. I would say like your passive attack range is something that's interesting as a scaling tool, but she's not the best. Definitely not the best scaler. Does seem like there is not much she can actually accomplish here. But you know, that's also totally fine because now she gets a fat recall. I assume he will go Infinity Edge, but we'll see. So after a nice farming session, she actually bought his IE, Yuntal, insane combination, high GD, high crit, high attack speed, high everything. And at this point of the game, you just want to force as much as possible. It does actually even send it into this Gnash. Let's see what can he accomplish. Blast comes through the wall, place it out safely, smooth and nicely. But look at her damage, she's just literally one-shotting these minions. And the good thing is Tristana Z, by the way, fun fact, scales with crit chance and crit damage at 40% effectiveness. So her E itself does 720, that's pretty big at 4 stacks, actually really big. And that's insane at like sieging towers as well. I mean, you also pop the whole wave, if you think about it, right? So you don't only siege, but essentially you pop the whole wave, which kind of multitasks it for you. We get any angles here, Chief? They are really having a nice engage. Okay, and do we just jump in? No, he's not fishing for more, because at this stage of the game, you know, it's not really worth flipping yourself for a kill. Or potential kill. Even worse, right? Even worse. Now let's see what can we do here. He does actually stay out of Mars' range, and she just like hits her outside of the reach. Ooh, it seems like she did some reflection damage, Mel, but not a lot because of the chain lace pressures. Merc's upgrade, if you will. Now as a third item, he highly prefers Naori's Quick Blades. They also have 0 armor to go Lord Dominic's for. And it's really good at resetting your QE. Your W are the resets of your E, of course. And you can perma maintain your Q, which is 120% attack speed. That's just insane. Your E does a fat amount of damage, 801, which you can reset in no time as well, of course. So it really just provides you that extra edge. And as I said, guys, perma Q, E resets in no time as well. So as we can see, this is really strong on Tristana. Just the fact that you get perma 120 attack speed is really interesting. Because then there is no like misplayed way of using Q, if it makes sense, until you get to, you know, basic attack over and over. And here is the plate that closes out the game. So basically at this point they are fishing to get an engage into Mel. The only problem is her W that really stays in the way. But you can definitely deal with that by playing it out slowly. So you always want to layer your basics a little bit and then full send it. Now, as much as you guys notice at this point, it's just a plain and easy, you know, just it's kind of like a nice cleanup. Perma CCing VA going to killing him. In particular, the game is over at this point. If you like my video, please leave a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It would really help a lot with the algorithm. It would really help me a lot to make further more videos. And if you guys have any questions about Tristana or about this gameplay that I perhaps forgot to answer, leave a comment with your question and I'll be able to answer it in no time. That's a guaranteed.